Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Well, it's kind of interesting. The uh, the stock market seems to be very comfortable. We have the was it? Oh, let's plug that in. We have the what do we call it? The debate tonight. There we go. We got the debate tonight. So markets are kind of, I don't know, they're trapped in a range. It feels like more than anything else. It doesn't seem to be much more than that. You can see we have on the beta platform right there the dollar index. Matter of fact, let's put the dollar index on the other platform too. Let's see where that's at right there. And you can see the stock market too. We'll show you that. Everything seems to be, we're in such a, I want to say, in a confused state. We've been in a confused state for a long time now. I mean, zero interest rates, with quantitative easing. I mean, it's been going on since 2009, basically, the end of 2008. Mr. Obama brought all these fun things to us in the end, I guess you could say. It's been a very confusing thing. There you're seeing the dollar index, trying to lift up just like it is on the beta. The weekly is still in a weekly sell. You can see on the spreadsheet. Can you see it? Yeah, where's it at? Line 27. 9 weeks in a weekly sell and 1 day in a daily buy. It's been that way for a while now. They're going on a 10th week. It seems like you can see the trend overall. You can see on a dollar index. You can see it's just kind of gliding down slow and steadily since we've gone into that weekly sell back in the beginning of July. I'm sorry, beginning of July there. We went into, in the beginning of June, we went into a weekly buy for a couple of weeks, 4 weeks, and then, topped out in here and started doing that sell thing. I guess that sell could be moved over to, let's move that over like so. There we go. And we went into the sell here. And we went back into a buy for a day, and then we went back into a sell again. And we were in the sell there for all this distance down from the 104 area to the par area, I guess you could say. About 400 points. It seems the same way with, let's go over to the stock market. The stock market acts the same way today. And let's put one of these things up on the screen so you can see it the best. Like there we go. You can see here is yesterday's settlement. I mean, the Asian hours are I guess this is yesterday's settlement. In the Asian hours, they seem to knock it down. Came in and put a bottom in. And here we are. Going into this is basically right here, time-wise, is the beginning of the European market. Frankfurt and Amsterdam and, Switzerland and London and Milan, and go on and on and on. Spain, all of them. Everybody opens up around here. Did I say Frankfurt? They're all just opening up, and you got this pop, and then they sold down and made another low. And this was going into the first half hour of the European Open, and then it's been climbing ever since. Just slowly and ziggy-zagging its way. This is the stock market. This is the S&P 500. And, talk about, basically confusion. I guess that's the best way to describe it. They're right there. And you can see, that's all, yesterday they ran it up to this area, stalled out, came back down again, ran it up to this area again towards the beginning of the Asian hour, and then sold it down. Here we are again. We're less than an hour away from the New York Open, and they're flirting with this top in here. So again, the markets have that confused look to them a lot of late. It doesn't seem so it's been this way for years now, literally years. I mean, you had the COVID situation, and today is a big day because, again, just as Mr. Trump debated Mr. Biden, and then the Democrats threw him away. They basically coup d'etat him out of his office. He's still the president, but he's not the presidential candidate. Now the vice presidential candidate is the presidential candidate, and I guess we'll see. I guess that no matter what happens tonight, they're going to tell you that it was a good debate. It has to be a good debate, solely because their backs are against the wall. The Democrats are the ones in power, have been doing everything they can. And at the same time, it's going to be very interesting. We are going to see the government shut down here in the United States going into the first day of October. And there'll be a big debate about something like 87% of Americans want it illegal for illegal voting. They want it to be a law, to be illegal. And that's the problem, is that the Democrats don't believe that. They like the idea that illegal voting should not be resisted. And that's what the whole government's going to get shut down on in the end. It will get shut down. They are passing an omnibus bill. It hasn't been passed yet, but it looks like it's ready to be passed in the House of Representatives. So in October 1st to be exact, it'll be another confusing time period, because we're going to be watching the U.S. government basically take a vacation, I guess you could say. I don't know how long the Democrats will hold out. I would imagine it'll be, just a couple days when they realize that no one cares what they're doing, in the sense of supporting it. Then they'll probably have to wake up and do something about it. So that's just the early warning of 2 weeks away from having the U.S. government closed down. And that's what I mean by there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of just sloppy action. We say it now almost every day. We think the markets have a 33% haircut on the upside because of the quantitative easing. And I think if quantitative easing actually ended, we could see the stock market move down about 33%, which makes sense. I mean, it's being propped up by borrowed money by the U.S. government. So that kind of makes sense. If they're not allowed to borrow money to stock, let's put it this way. We saw what it did to the Japanese market. Their currency has gone from in the 0.80 area, 0.90 area, up to the 1.61 area. That's a big inflation explosion. And we're seeing that same thing here in the States, a big inflation explosion. And then there's always the old saying, when America sneezes, like achoo, achoo, the world catches a cold. So, we have inflation. That means you have twice the amount of inflation. And that's what it really says. So definitely lots of issues, and not counting the fact for a year and a half the Federal Reserve kept on saying, don't worry about the inflation. It means nothing. Yeah. Can anybody say that? Does it really mean nothing now? I don't think so. So, all right, let's get going to, where do we go from here? Let's jump over to the, let's do this, let's open that up. Let's go take a look at the euro this morning and see what the currencies are doing. So we'll go to Dookie Day Week. There it goes. Establishing a connection. Normally I have this open. I just didn't realize it didn't pop it open. There's the great experiment. Let's see, go up like that. Now let's take a look at the euro. There is the euro. You can see here in the daily sell for second day. And a weekly buy was at, let's see what the spreadsheet says on it. There it is. 9 weeks in a weekly buy, just like, I think it was at line 27, was it? 9 weeks in a weekly sell. So the dollar index is in a sell. This is in a buy. This is what we were hoping for as traders when we first suggested the idea back in the early 80s. Have maybe the European Union could be have their like a currency, be like the United States of Europe type of thing. And we were playing around with that then at the currency exchange in Philadelphia, and it worked out pretty well. And you can see now it's actually very clear. And you can see here the euro is a daily sell for 2 days, but not really going anywhere, and it's in that weekly buy. You see the fast has broken down here, having some issues, but with the green so high up, this thing could ricochet right back up again. It does that sometimes. See if we see an example of it, where the no, I don't see it at this point, because here we have the slow way above, and the fast algorithm is deeply down below the negative manifold. That says a lot, and a lot of times you see it does it here. It joins in. Now here is, let's move that over a little bit. I guess that would be it. Is here it's doing the same thing, going through the zero line, and you can see it's just barely touching the manifold and starting to penetrate. So we'll watch. We'll see. The math will keep us honest. 86 out of 100% of the time. So it's always better to just let the math tell us what they're going to do. From there, we'll go to the cable. Now, cable trying to perk its head up a little bit, but you can see the algorithm is making actually a lower low. The weekly, it has that same situation on the weekly. Look at the slow. It's marching along way up above the manifold here on the plus side, and the fast is basically deep sixth below the negative manifold. You can see when it did it here, the same thing. It had that long sloping situation. This was the terrifying moment when people said, "Oh, there's going to be a civil war in Great Britain." They're not talking about civil war, but they are talking about the idea now that labor has taken over, people are now seeing labor's policies, and they're not too happy about that. And that's usually nice, Nothing better than the politicians finally showing their direction, their idea, what they're planning on doing. Whereas before, labor was just let's not vote for what I called the Tony Blair Tories. I mean, really, that's what they were. They were very supportive of Tony Blair more than they were of Margaret Thatcher. All right, let's see now. Let's go over to the Swiss, the inflation fighters, right there. And you can see here, it went into the buy. Let's grab one of these greens and let's put a green in there. So we're in a buy for a second day. Been a long sell. Is it 14 weeks, 15 weeks? That's line. Let's show you what it is. There she blows. 15 weeks in a weekly sell there. 1 day in a daily buy. And look where it's parked, in the 84s. It's not bad. They've done a great job of fighting the inflation. I know that we'll be happy to see when the Big Mac index kicks out, 6 months from now or whenever it does. We're hoping that it'll be much lower in Switzerland. What was really surprising was the Big Mac index. And for those that don't understand what that is what a Big Mac goes for in the capital of a country. And It was the highest. It was up 40. Was it 44.44%? Another half a percentage point or something like that. It was the most expensive in the world, and good reason why the Swiss National Bank, their Federal Reserve, chose to fight inflation over a year ago. They recognized it. They didn't come up with some strange slogans the way ours did. And so that's pretty much the magic of it all now. Let's see. Let's go over and take a look at Mr. Yen or Mrs. Yen and all the little yens. Same situation. That is line. What is that? That is line 39 and 40 on the spreadsheet. Right here. You see 8 weeks in a buy. I'm sorry, 8 weeks in a sell. 8 weeks in a sell. Going on its ninth week in a sell. We've been in a daily sell right here. So it's worked out really well. And what else is there? Oh, we can go right back to the experiment. Let's see what the... let me just go take a look and see what Tokyo did. I always like to get a flavor of where they pushed the stock market over there. 225. There it is. The Nikkei. It was down just 56 points. Not about a 16th of a percent. Very small. So we can put it up on the screen here for you. There we are. And you can see, where's that mouse right there? You can see it's not getting too damaged. I saw Shanghai lift up. When we get towards the end, we'll take a look at that. Unless someone wants to see it now, just state it and we will. No? Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Turkish lira. Right there. Let's see. Went into the sell here. What's it say? Turkish lira is... Let's scroll it down just a little bit more. 18 weeks in a weekly buy, 1 day in a daily sell. So let's put the line in there. There you are. You can see all of them. Notice the fast algorithm is really dropping in a lot of these products. And then the slow is just kind of cruising along, kind of really trying to tell us that this may not mean much whatsoever. That's usually what it seems to tell us unless it breaks down. Here we are just on Tuesday, of course. So, we'll give it obviously a couple, going into the... Well, tonight will be the big debate. And we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, I think it's going to be a no-show. Some will be saying she won. Some will be saying she lost. Some will say she didn't say anything at all. No one will be saying she told us everything. That's for sure. She's not going to tell us everything. She's running that basement strategy that got Mr. Biden into office. Yeah, the basement strategy. From there, we go to South Africa. You can see that box. Now, it's up a little bit today. And you can't see that. Let's show it to you there. Right there. There we go. So you can see there, it's the same situation. We're watching the South African Rand, seeing how the metals complex works with that at this point. Let's see. Let's take a look at gold. Last we looked, it was still in a sell. And let's see, like that. Let's put it up on the screen. There it is right there. It's up a little bit now, but notice the algorithm pushing down. I thought that was interesting. That was, to me at least, I thought, well, it's kind of trying to go one way and also trying to go the other way. In other words, it doesn't have the conviction we're looking for, really. And that is the whole process, really. And what else can we say? What we're seeing here, I guess, we're really looking at, that's gold, and we saw. Let's put silver up there. Silver, is definitely lifting a little bit more. I think we suggested that too a couple days ago. We might see this thing go up to the 29 area, and I think today's high is 28.89. We're still not in the 29 area. I was thinking 29.20, something like that, just because of some of the action we were seeing, and then it's trying to roll over again. And you see the weeklies right on the edge there, just right on that edge. It is fighting to really reflect that action. But at this point, we're not really seeing the real, press. Again, markets, they're trapped in this political montage. I mean, that's really part of the problem at this point. They're stuck in it, and there's not much they can do about it either. And it's look, when you have the Federal Reserve propping up markets for over a decade now, decade and a half, since basically 2009. You're looking at what was that, 15 years. 15 years of propping up the market. And everybody acts like, oh yeah, that's normal. Zero interest rates, yeah, that's normal. Oh yeah, Federal Reserve, now has 34 trillion. The government has 34 trillion in debt. Yeah, that's normal. It's makes you scratch your head to all of it at this point. All right, let's take a look at copper. I saw some strength in. Check this out. There is copper. Oh, they're backing it off. Yeah, copper at one point was pushing up into what was the high today? 15, almost 15, almost 16. 4.1595. Now it's pushing back down, and you can see here it's very close to trying to slide into the sell. In that weekly sell there, it's just not. We're just not seeing that strength out of it. We've talked about how some of the brokerage houses were trying to predict that there would be some strength, but it seems to have dissipated. And at the same time, we take a look at the most strongest of them all, the most dangerous short in the world, the platinum position. There's platinum. It doesn't care. It's at the highs of the day. It's 3 days in a buy. It's was playing with a weekly buy. Now it seems to have broken back down again. You can see the fast was leading this down, and now it climbed into the weekly sell, and here we are, daily buy. So it's in a neutral position, and we find this to be the most terrifying short in the world because of it's trading 33% to the gold, and it naturally used to trade about a 5 or 10% premium over gold. So could you imagine it? Like a 75% move, something like that. 70% move could occur out of nowhere. Where finally, when QE, I mean, it all started with QE, so we just have to assume that, when QE ends, boy, this might be buy this, sell gold. I mean, that's the pairs trade. It'll be very interesting. All right. And then from there, still quiet day. No one's really talking about anything. No one's asking about anything. We're going to have to come up with a title today, but I would say the best way to describe this market now is it is what did it basically say? I guess you could say it is the market is waiting for the poll. The debate. That's what it is. It's staring at it and basically saying, we'll watch for the debate. We'll see how that plays out. All right. From there, let's see, where are we at here? And let's go over and look at the energy sector. There's crude oil. Now, crude oil is showing, it's sold off a little bit, tried to go down towards the lows of yesterday, seemed to have failed at it, that's for sure. And same thing with Brent. Brent, what's interesting is Brent, I could have sworn, where did we see that yesterday? Was it at 71.34? I want to say it was that. The low yesterday was 65, I'm sorry. And today's low is 70.72, so higher low. I'm going to show it to you right here. And there's Brent, pushing down, not going to zero or anything, but just pushing down. Been a daily sell, for was it 6-7 days, something like that, and a weekly sell for a couple of weeks. The Brent, the West Texas Intermediate, they're both feeling the pain. You can see it right there on that screen, and then we go over and look at the West Texas Intermediate, same situation, pressing down too. And I would imagine, we go over to what I consider one of the more important products out there when trying to look at the energy universe, and that is right there, heating oil. The heating oil, which I always remind everybody, it's the fuel for the airplanes, the commercial airplanes up in the sky. It is, it feeds the big trucks that take product to market, and at the same time, so diesel vehicles, and it's actually the reason they call it heating oil is because it heats things, engines and houses. Heats it. They use it as a heating power source for the wintertime. And we've seen it fall down to the $2.13 area. No more than 3 months ago, we sold this thing over at $3, so it's lost a whole dollar. It's gone from $3 and change to $2 and change. I mean, it's over $1 down now. And you're talking. Let's just contract it a little bit so you can see better. You see that it was up in the 360 area, was it? Yeah. Right there. No, that's 2. That is in July. And in June, where was it? There it is. In June, it was up in the 270 area. That's only 4 months ago. And I think it was up in the $3 area right there in September of last year. No, that's 280. That's 280. So, it's there were some contracts we actually saw in the $3 area. So last year's September contract was anticipating, just lower rates, or lower value. And so that's where we are at this point. I'm not sure why the weekly's not filled in there. We'll have to take a look at that and find out what the dysfunction is. There we are. And so heating oil at this point is at the lows of, some of the best lows we've seen in 2.5, 3 years, which is nice. Under Mr. Trump, it traded at under 80 cents a 4 liter. It was at 77 cents, under $1. And obviously during Mr. Biden's situation, It has. Let's see if we can go back even more. Let's see if we can put this in there. HO, I think it is. Let's see. HO. Equals F, I believe. Let's see if this does it. There it is. Let's see if we can go back 5 years. So you can see there, it was over $4 during the explosion of inflation. Especially going into 22, it got as insane as up to $5.77. You can see it was in the fours. You see right here, it was just, it was at that was the beginning of September of last year. It was up in the $3 area, and then then right there, our chart shows it in the 280s, 90s area, and now it's at basically at $2. You can see it right there, $2.12. Well, basically $2.13 overall, rounded out. All right, and so that's part of that. Here you can see also right there. It's during the Trump years. Got down to, is that 63? 63 cents. Yep. 58 cents. Got down to 58 cents. And it was, 60 cents, under a dollar. Almost halfway underneath a dollar. That is. And that's the way it keeps on rolling. Alrighty. So from there, we take a look at, see what's left out of this group of things. Heating oil, crude oil, Brent, and nat gas right there. Nat gas is trying to be firm. It's played with the $2 area. Also came down from the $3 area no more than, since June. And they think Mr. Trump is there's this one particular pretty neutral guy says Mr. Trump's going to win by a landslide. So that and things like that keep things healthy. Keep them bullish. I guess you could say, not healthy, but bullish. All right, from there we zip over to. Let's take a look at some of the international indexes. And I see no questions so far. Here is the Kospi. There's the Kospi right there. That's the going back after that low there. That's interesting. That's the South Korean index. It's really pushed down, going right back down to that low. And then we go over to Taiwan. Let's see, where's Taiwan? Let's just go to the world finances. Let's see. We'll find it in a second. Let's see more. Maybe we need to go directly to. Maybe we're not really there. Okay, world markets. There we go. Let's see where the Taiwan is. Maybe they're trying to satisfy China. They hate the idea of showing you where Taiwan is. Let's see if we can look it up. Let's see. Taiwan, that's right there. Copy, and let's just put it up over here. Boy, they really do a good semiconductor, Taiwan semiconductor. They really try to hide things sometimes. It's amazing how they do that. Index. Right there. No, that doesn't sound right. Dow Jones, Taiwan, down a little bit. Let's go over to Shanghai. They'll have no problem. Just a couple of zeros and automatically spits out. Right there. They showed a little strength here today at last I looked. Let's see. Right there. You see it's... oh, what is that? That's today. I could have sworn it was up. But they made another new low down to the 27.18 area now. It shows to be up 770 for the day, so we're not seeing that. I think that's Friday, so they're not showing us Monday. So it might be up a little bit, just 7 points for the day. It's been kind of a tough road to hoe, I guess you could say, when we talk in farmer terms. Things are definitely not that good in Taiwan. And then, from there, we zip-doo-dah over to, where do we go from here? Let's see, where do we go from here? I would say basically at this point, we're looking at, we go take a look at the Singapore STI, right there. Very solid. Not having a problem with that low that was made out of the Tokyo unwind. And then from there, we go over to the Nifty 50 and where is that at? Where is the Nifty? Let's put the 50 Nifty, or maybe it's just the Nifty 50. Let's try that. Nifty 50, there it is. You see, that's the Indian index. You see it's up 104 points today. Let's see what it looks like with a daily. Showing some strength, not challenging the unwind there either. Looking very good. Trying to lift back up again. From there we go to Saudi Arabia, right there. And you can see there's the Saudi Arabian, the oil situation. It's trying to go after, this was from the unwind. It got down to basically 2708. So, no, 2680. I'm sorry, 2680. So we might be seeing some more of that weakness as it keeps on playing itself out. I mean, that would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. What else can we say? Excuse me. Yeah, I would say that that's really the way it's been playing out. I don't think it's going to change any, that's for sure. There we are. And then from there, take a look at the Tel Aviv. That's it, right, the TA. Let's see how that goes. It doesn't show it. They don't have it on this. They're hiding the index. Interesting. I like how they do that. Paste. Let's see. Let's go like that. Maybe that'll. Let's see if that will do it. Well, we can just put it up on there like this. Where is it at? Right there. See if there's a chart there. There is a chart. Take a look at the 6 month. We see it's up just $1.86 today. We'll get our old beta going again tomorrow and see if we can get that thing going so you can see where the weeklies are. I always like to save that for like the end of the week. Just kind of give people something to look forward to, you know, like a Friday game. I guess we should be thinking about a title to this webinar too. I mean, we're basically looking at, again, it's the same situation we've been running through, and that is that the markets are waiting for, you know, now the debate, as much as the stock market looks firm in here, we'll take a look at the European markets too. Let's do this. Let's go to DAX, see how the DAX looks. Right there. There's the DAX. See, the DAX is not really lifting like the U.S. stock market is. And the FTSE, same situation. It's also, let's see if we go like this. Let's see, why is that showing us a line? So we can change that. Huh. Where is that at? There must be a way of changing this into a... I'm surprised it even does that to us out of nowhere. But you can see it's up towards the top end of the range. It's definitely not getting knocked down, that's for sure. Let's see what 1 month looks like. And then let's see 1 year. You know, 1 year, see, we're all cruising along at all-time highs in the FTSE. So, you know, we're seeing more strength. Let's see what the Stokes is doing. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, I see right there. Let's see how the Stokes is doing. Stokes. There's the 600. Usually we look at the 50. You see that's pretty much almost unchanged. Right there. Not challenging the unwind, but you know, doing a little correction in there. Now, what could we use as a title today? That's the bigger question. What could we use as a title today? And I guess, you know, it's a very easy cop-out if we say markets wait for debate. You know, I mean, that's pretty much a lot of it. I mean, yesterday, look at the way this U.S., let's put U.S. stock market back up on the other chart. Right. Let's see, we do go like this. Close that. There we are. Yes. And then right here, you see, we just keep on marching up. You know, it's a slow drag. In other words, it's not an explosive action. It's just that there isn't a lot of conviction in this action whatsoever. That's what it really comes down to at this point. So, but we should have a title today. That's the one thing we should do, is put a title in there, because we are getting close to the end of this webinar. No one seems to be asking questions at the moment, so, and you know, I just figured let's try to get the title in there now before I'm dancing, you know, in other ways, you know. All right, so today's title, I think what we're going, oh, where'd it go? I just had it. Oh, there it is. Right there, there we are. So the title today, go like that. And I'm thinking pretty much just the way we look at it, there is an underlining strength. There's no doubt about that. They're anticipating, obviously, a success for Mr. Trump by not blowing up. And at the same time, you know, markets wait for debate, really. That's what it comes down to. And, you know, some of these titles now have really been too political. Markets wait for debate. we're really tired. We really would be much happier to have, economic data, things that would tell us about the economy, where things are going, what are they doing, what are they trying to do. That would be so much more interesting at this point. It seems to go the other way around for us. But that is the title. Markets wait for debate. I mean, that's really what it is. Now, you could say that shorts, because the markets have, let's see if we can show you. Let's do it this way. There it is. There's the S&P 500. Because of all this selling here, and it's trying to lift up. But look, we've been in a daily sell since back here. That's like what's that? That's 4, and that's 6. I'm sorry, that's 8. That's 8 days right there, and then this is 12 days. We're on the 13th day. We've been in a sell for a while now in here, just like that, and at the same time, trapped in a weekly buy. It is a neutral market. There we go. That's me. It's a neutral market. That's really what it comes down to. And it's not interested in changing that neutrality. It does not have any hunger whatsoever to change the action that's going on with the market itself. It's a very neutral market, and it doesn't seem to want to quit. That's the amazing part out of it all, is that in other words, you would think that they would drive that, and you can see we got close so far, and you can see this is only Tuesday. We have great potential to break down. You can see the fastest down there last week and this week down here below the manifold, and sometimes that becomes the recipe for a bounce, especially with the slow not being willing to go into that sell, and it's only the fast that's going into the sell, and it basically starts to scream at us and say, markets are just sitting around waiting and not willing to do anything more than that. And that is the amazing part. That really is. So, and then when we look at things like the gold right here, you see it's trying to lift up. At the same time, our algorithm is pressing down. There just is no conviction. That's why the titles usually represent the action of the market itself, and it's nowhere to be found. It really is nowhere to be found. They have no interest whatsoever to change, the action there. It really doesn't. It's the other way around. There's no hunger for it whatsoever, and it just seems to be like an enigma in many ways, a very strange enigma. But then when you really think about, like yesterday, they had Bitcoin. Let's show you the Bitcoin here. There's Bitcoin. Where is it at? Right there. There's the Bitcoin yesterday. It's still very firm. No, that's yesterday. They're not even showing us today yet. We're not even seeing today's action. Let's see if we can see if they want to update it more. And it was actually, it looks like it did close in the buy. What did we have it on the, let's see, the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet has it on 8 days in a sell, but it looks like it may have closed the other way around. Yeah, see, there's Friday. That's today. Okay, so 10, yeah. So it's trying to climb into that buy. And that's where we're at with that product at this point. What else is there? I would say that, looking at the stock indices, they are just drifting. Probably, if anything else, as I was starting to say before, that is, the stock indices don't have an interest in getting tangled in what has been going on. In other words, they're like, if they're short, they're trying to flatten out. If they're long, well, they're riding it up. They're paid to be long, but more than that is that I'm sure that they don't want to be short. That is no doubt. And we've looked at some of the, what is it at, the grains. We've seen that where, like beans. Beans are trying to fall apart, but have not been able to fall apart. And it's playing with the weekly, as you can see right there. This is the November being the lead contract. And you can see it right there. It's right on the edge. And then you see the January contract. Same situation, but nowhere near lifting up as much and trying to press down back months. Now, the back month is actually higher than the front month, so I guess they're trying to take some profits out of it at the same time. I would say that's pretty much the recipe of it all right there. That's what it reminds me of what the action is. It just keeps on trying to, be that strength, I guess you could call it. And we've seen these things. You can see beans have come down from $12. You can see the cost of food is starting to drop, but it's been a very tenacious, explosive situation. And corn is in everything. And you can see here's the corn, and we're seeing that same weakness going on in the corn. There's no interest in, it's not taking off. It was $6 and $7 a bushel. Now you're looking at under $4 a bushel. That's a tough situation. Very tough situation. All right. Let's see. There we go. So from there, what else we got going on here? You can see the stock indices. We showed you the stock futures, but the stock indices. Let me just put this down here like that. There we are. There's the hoggies. And that's yesterday. And so let's put right there, like the S&P 500. You can see the stock index. It's almost open. They almost starting the trade. And let's see what else we got going on there. Yeah, just pressing up, trying to climb into a buy. It's turning into a very tight market. Very tight market. And what else can we say about any of these markets at this point? It just seems like they have no clean direction whatsoever. None. All right, traders, we're going to jump out of here. And we're going to get ready for the markets. So this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel, and we'll have a conclusion to the debate. We will know how Mrs. Harris or Miss Harris, how she skated around all the conversation. That's pretty much really what it comes down to, too. They're not really sure what to think about any of it at this point. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders, and the title is there. Ta-ta.